What's going on, YouTube? What's going on? What is happening, man? Of course, you got one more time, DEDRICKHJR, and I'm back with another fragrance video. All right, Smell Good family. Hopefully, everyone is doing great, doing well, doing fantastic, positive energy, and positive vibes. Y'all know how we rock here on this channel. All right, so we're in a new year. All right, it's the start of 2024. And I must say, over the past 2 to 3 weeks, I've had a lot of my older videos get a lot of people commenting in them, and it's newer people who are interested in the hobby of fragrances. And I was really surprised. I'm very grateful for it, obviously, but I'm really surprised at how many of my older videos, I'm talking about a year and a half, 2 years back, where people were commenting and asking questions about said fragrance or something I said, or so forth and so on. So that led me to believe, when we get to a new year, there's a lot of different things that we like to do as human beings. We like to pick up this hobby or that hobby, or this trade or that trade, or whatever, or however long it holds our interest. And fragrances is definitely going to be one of them. The rise in popularity of the art of fragrances, we're turning into the hobby of collecting fragrances. It's a pretty healthy thing that's going on, at least in my world, and most likely yours as well. So today I have 10 fragrances. If you're just starting your collection or just getting into fragrances, 10 fragrances that you can go to your local retailers right now, smell them, get a feel for them. 10 of my favorites, but I think these would be 10 fragrances to kind of get the juices flowing, so to speak. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Up first, from the house of Yves Saint Laurent, yes sir, from the YSLY line, we have YSLY EDT 2022. Now, why do I say EDT 2022? Well, the previous version of this fragrance is the 2017 version. All right, there's some slight differences, but this is the one that you can buy now. Very fresh, very clean, very blue, shower jelly type of fragrance. Can really work for any type of situation. Why recommend this one? Well, a lot of people, they don't really know what they want when they first get started into this hobby. They could be really blind, and you want to go to something that smells good and that'll work, and dare I say safe. All right, and most of these fragrances categorizes that to some point, but this one is definitely one that just waves that playing this safe flag, give you something to get into, wear, and kind of start to get a feel of what you do like and maybe what you don't. From the house of Yves Saint Laurent, we have YSLY EDT 2022 version. 2022 version. There's a whole line of these, so if you're watching and you're new to the hobby, there's a whole line, but this is the EDT, and I would start with that one. All right, up next, from the house of Dior. All right, if you've been watching this channel for a while, it's not what you think it is, but from the house of Dior, this is another fresh and clean beauty, great for the summertime, and honestly, you can even wear this to the office, for real. I've done it before and it worked. From the house of Dior, we have Dior Homme Cologne. Dior Homme Cologne. Now, this gets heralded as a summertime banger, summertime only, hot weather only, and I get it, and I agree. But this is still a fresh and clean, very clean style of a fragrance. You could wear this every single day. It's something that's really pleasant to the nose, refreshing to the nose. I haven't heard anybody not say that they like this one. I've never heard no one say that they don't like it. And if you're out there, then to each his own. I understand that. But this is fresh. This is clean. This is another safe flag waver, so to speak, when you're getting into fragrances and getting into the hobby. Simple notes of musk, citrus. A lot of fresh accords in this as well. This stuff is really, really awesome, and it just works. It's not the biggest performer. You're not going to get all day longevity, and I would advise not to get into the whole performance thing until you really get a handle on what you do like and what you don't like. So this is one that could definitely hold it down. Really good stuff. From the house of Dior, we have Dior Homme Cologne. Dior Homme Cologne. All right, up next, another beauty. All right, I'm a big fan of this line. I don't talk about this one as much, but I have the entire line. The entire line works for whatever you got going on, especially this one, the original. From the house of Chanel, we have Blue de Chanel, the EDT. EDT, this is a big 150, man, and I think it's like 1/4. We're down to the last fourth of this bottle, man. But anyway, this one, it's kind of, in my opinion, a step up from the first two that we talked about, in my opinion, because the Blue de Chanel line is my favorite blue line, and the Parfum is my favorite. But anyway, you get the same freshness. There's a slight spice to this. There's some depth to this as well. It's very bright, very easy to wear. To me, if you wear this versus something Dior Homme Cologne, you're gonna get a lot more out of this than what you could possibly get out of Dior Homme Cologne, in just my opinion. But this stuff is awesome, man. This is the beginning of one of the best lines of all time, flankers wise, and Blue EDT just absolutely works. So if you're not trying to, you're just getting into the hobby and you're just trying to see what's what, again, check out these 10 that we're talking about today, but I'd probably start with this one. From the house of Chanel, we got Blue EDT, the EDT. EDT. This stuff is awesome. My favorite blue fragrance DNA that's out there. All right, moving along. Next, from the house of Versace, we have Versace Dylan Blue. Another easy to wear fragrance, but this one has some depth. Shower jelly feel, some spices. There's even a little warmth to this fragrance as it starts to dry down, but shower jelly, fresh, clean, some spices, warm, spicy nature as this thing starts to dry down. Really good stuff. You can wear this pretty much anywhere, anytime, any place. Me particularly, I wear this to the office. And I like to wear this one in the evening. I like to wear this one in the evening because I just think the spice that's in this fragrance and the warmth that I get from this fragrance really starts to show up on my skin as we get, through the mid into the dry down. So I kind of hold this one back to more towards the evening or from just in the office. But this one absolutely works. Good stuff from the house of Versace. We have Dylan Blue. Dylan Blue, definitely something to look into. Easy. A lot of people love this. A lot of people have goated this fragrance as well. I've seen over the years for sure. All right, up next is kind of step it up a notch in DNA. We've talked about a lot of blues and we have some blues left, but we're going to kind of switch it up a bit. From the house of Polo, we have Polo Red EDP. EDP. Now this one is readily available, but the switch of pace here is the notes. You get more of a cranberry. Oh, so good. Cranberry, citruses. Definitely a little bit warmer in the DNA. Spice to it as well, but the cranberry and the citrus really work their magic in this fragrance. Just kind of switches up the pace. All right, so you're still going to get something that smells really good and something that's really easy to wear. But compared to the first four that we just talked about, probably rivaling what Blue EDT EDT does, this will just offer something else. It's more than fresh, it's more than clean. All right, so like I said, the cranberry note, and just the citrus, how they just play off each other, just really absolutely works, man. And this is one that I particularly wear to the office as well, but I just really enjoy the smell. So the Polo Red line is one of my favorite lines, but if you're looking for something that's gonna be something that stands out a little bit more with that cranberry note, because it definitely does, this is something that you might want to look into. Smells good, very pleasant, and people around you are going to enjoy this as well. From the house of Polo, for the house of Ralph Lauren, Ralph Lauren, we have Polo Red, the EDP. Doesn't get talked about at all in FragCom, but I understand, but it's good. All right, let's go to another one that's a little bit, either you love it or you don't. You like it or you don't. And I personally love and like it. For a while, this was my favorite blue fragrance before I got into the Blue Chanel line. But this stuff is awesome. From the house of Dolce & Gabbana, we have K EDP. Now, depends on who's talking about it. And this bottle's clashing with my studio light, but depends on who's talking about it. Or yeah. Now, to me, this is a big hit. It's a weird type of blue. You get this citrus, but you get this spice. You get this juniper berry. You kind of get like a green, slightly earthy touch to this, to my nose. It just has a lot of things that I enjoy. And to me, at least off the atomizer, there's a little minty feel to it as well. So there's a lot going on here. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of the EDT, all right, but the EDP, absolutely. So much so I have a backup bottle. Yes, a backup bottle. As you can see the dent, I've had this for quite some time now. The dent is pretty significant. So I've had this for almost about 3 years. And I used to wear it non-stop. It was my wedding scent. Not when I got married, but when me and my wife would go to weddings, I will wear this fragrance, and it really works out. So another one that's a little bit more interesting, more than just clean and fresh, but has clean and fresh elements for sure. But the juniper and the blood orange and the spiciness from this fragrance really make it a little bit different than just your traditional fresh and clean scent. Something to definitely look into, get your nose on if you're trying to start a collection, but you want something that's going to be a little bit different from your standard smells. Fragrances, excuse me, that are out there. This is one to consider. From the house of Dolce & Gabbana, we have KEDP. KEDP. All right, up next from the house of Prada, and I've said what I said about this fragrance compared to another one. Could be a little bit, you know, I've been told before, man, you tripping. I'm not tripping, just what I like. All right, from the house of Prada, we have Prada Carbon. Prada Lunar Rosa Carbon. I personally like this better than Dior Sauvage, the EDT. It's much more smoother, much more well-rounded. I love how the lavender really shines in here. The ambroxan is not overwhelming and screechy. And, you know, this is not a 12-hour fragrance at all. But the DNAs, if you smell them side by side, I ask people all the time, which one do you get the better quality out of, just with it being a little bit more smoother? Dior Sauvage is great. It's a classic. But I prefer this one comparatively to the EDT. The EDT, I prefer this one for sure. Easy to wear, very fresh, invigorating, bright, mood lifter. This stuff is awesome. From the house of Prada, we got Prada Lunar Rosa Carbon. This is a big 150 ml for me. That's how much I loved it, man. Great stuff for sure. All right, up next let's get back to the fresh and clean vibe, but we're gonna add the element of a powdery nature, all right? And that is for my guys who, you know, you want something that's gonna make you stand out from, you know, head to toe, the way that you're dressed. You don't want something just fresh and clean. You want a little bit more of a element to it that's gonna make you stand out, all right? And I think this has it. From the house of Prada, once again, we have Prada L'Homme Le. Prada L'Homme Le. All right, now don't get it confused with the original, because here's the baby blue back, the powder blue back. Now me, I like this better than the original. I just do. Still fresh, still clean. The iris and the powdery notes really work beautiful together. Kind of provides what I like to smell like. No disrespect to the original, it's great for sure. Prada L'Homme Intense is also for sure. But this one just really gets the job done for sure. All right. Again, fresh, clean, and powdery is what you're gonna get here. I know the iris to kind of help elevate your fragrance experience, and even those around you will probably be elevated as well. All right, so this stuff is really good. It's easy to get, it works in every situation, every scenario. If you're just getting into fragrances and you want to get your nose on something, not necessarily buy everything that we're talking about. That's not what this list is. Just to give you some things to look into and get your nose on, so you can start formulating some different opinions of what you love and what you don't love. And I personally love this fragrance. From the house of Prada, we have Prada L'Homme Le. Prada L'Homme Le. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, two more left to discuss. Let's kind of turn it up a bit. We have two fragrances for sure that are gonna definitely switch the pace of what we've been talking about in this video. Up next, from the house of Viktor and Rolf, we have the original Spice Bomb. Oh, almost dropped the bottle. The original Spice Bomb. Now look, spices everywhere for sure. Cinnamon, saffron, there's a tobacco in here, there's a leathery feel as this thing starts to dry down, but it still has a fresh element. You do get a citrus burst up top that kind of reveal its freshness, but that doesn't last long. This is not intense or the extreme or the EDP, but the spiciness, hence the name Spice Bomb, stay pretty relevant and stay pretty clear throughout this fragrance. I tell myself from time to time, wow, which one do you love the most out of this line, D? And this one is one I have a lot of conversations that I think it's this one. I love the new infrared EDP. I love the extreme. It's always a conversation with this one, but that's just how good it is. So if you're looking for something spicier, a little bit more masculine, you don't want anything to do with fresh and clean and powdery and clean linen, but you want something that's gonna make you stand out, look into this one. It's something I think could be safe once you start to go down the more spicier and masculine sense, in my opinion. But safe Does not mean that it's not unique, because this is a unique blend for sure. From the house of Viktor and Rolf, we have Spice Bomb, the original EDT. Big fan of this stuff, all right? And last but not least, a lot of you guys watching who are brand new to FragCom, and you're trying to, you know, maybe you're not brand new, but I've spoke on this fragrance before, and over time it has really risen to my favorite in the line. It really has. But this is something that is also a little bit different. This is something that you're not gonna, a different form of the DNA in this one than you get in its previous flankers, but it's good. From the house of Polo Red, we have Invictus Platinum. Invictus Platinum. When this first came out, there was pretty good conversation, but as of late, I have not seen any. Now, this is year-round as well. All of these are year-round, in my opinion. All of these are year-round, but this one, the osmanthus note in here, there's a patchouli, there's an earthy vibe to it, so it's sweet, but it has a depth to it. It has earthy feel, like I said before, osmanthus. To me, I get like a little leathery like touch as it starts to dry down and really get to the base of this fragrance. But this stuff is awesome. This is my favorite from the line. Yes, out of the entire Polo Red Invictus line, Platinum is my favorite. I've worn this quite a bit. I don't know when I'm going to finish this bottle, but this is one that I'll always have. And the more that I wear it, the more that I have been able to test it, I just really get a really good fragrance, man, that I really enjoy. It's a little bit different, kind of pulls you away from that fresh and clean element where we started with this video. So check this one out. From the house of Polo Red, we have Invictus Platinum. Invictus Platinum. All right, Smell Good family. So that is going to wrap up today's video. So this video got me thinking. Like I said before, a lot of people have been watching older content and asking me kind of beginner questions about fragrance. So I decided to put this list together. These are fragrances you can get out right now. Go to your local dealers, Macy's, wherever you're a big time retailer sells fragrances, they should have these 10. So put your nose on them, get the brain going, and kind of see get the nose going, excuse me, and kind of see what you like and what you don't like, and kind of go from there. So let me know down below in the comments. All right, what are some of your fragrances that Smell Good family that you would recommend? Fragrances that you would recommend for those who may be getting into the hobby in 2024. All right, so hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. Once again, as always, be cool, be safe, take care of yourselves, splack up, splack it down, splack that thing all around. And remember, what you put out into this world, yes you, it's exactly what you are going to get back. Oh yeah, and for those who are asking, if you're new here, you want to be the next member of the Smell Good family, all you gotta do is hit the subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, and meet me down in the comments so we can talk about what you love and what I love, and that's the beautiful art of fragrance. All right, so till next time, y'all be cool and splacker. I'm working on it, y'all. I'm trying to get me one splacker. I don't know where I want to go. Stay tuned.